everyone, this is Carolina. Today I'm going to be showing you how to put these tree ornaments together that will function as treat or gift card holders. These are the items you'll need. You'll need a piece of felt measuring 2 3/4 by 8 1/2, 12 inches of ribbon, 8 inches of twine, embossing floss, and a needle, or you could also use twine or thread if you'd like. A spool, which you can find in your craft section either under the dolls section or the wood items section. A brad. I'm using a corduroy brad for my ornaments. Two buttons. There you go, 1, 2. A sentiment of your liking. I'm using Happy Holidays. This is from Gina K. And then a tag so that you can mark off who this is for. Both of the designs can find over at Gina K Designs, and below is the link. Scissors, ruler, double-sided tape, and some glue dots. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and get started. And you want to take everything away except for the piece of felt and the spool, as well as your double-sided tape. Then just go ahead and cut off a piece pretty much long enough to go the length of the spool. So I'm doing here, and then just glue it down. Take out the covering. And then the best way I found to do this, let me go ahead and zoom in so I can show you. I just kind of made it a little too long. Okay, here we go. So I just kind of laid it over and then rolled the spool. So as you're seeing me do here, just kind of rolled it till you get to the other end. And you can kind of flip it just to make sure, and then just stick it down. That's pretty much it. Okay, so just make sure it's in there. It's glued tight. You're going to measure about 2 inches up. And this is a total preference. I use my scissors to give the little edge, a little bit of a decorative edge. You don't have to do this part. I decided to just because I wanted it to look a little nicer. So I just use my sewing scissors here to make kind of like a rickrack edge to it. And again, we're going to go ahead and measure up about 2 inches. Let me see, I think this is pretty much on. Yep. Okay, and then go ahead and grab your needle, floss, or twine, or whatever you decide to use, plus your 2 buttons. So make sure you have those handy. You'll need those in a minute. Okay, so the way I kind of started, so let me just put them here so they're accessible and you can see them. Now, go ahead and just kind of put those sides together, not the end of your floss, and then just kind of put your needle through all the way. Grab one of your buttons and put so that we can attach it to your ornament. So you're seeing me do here. And I'm not going to go and stitch the whole thing just because I think the video would get too long, but I'll show you a couple of stitches and how I go about it as far as like how I measure it. But let me go ahead and put this button on, and I just go ahead and basically do 2, have it go twice. It'll stick pretty good since we are going through the whole, through all the edge at the bottom. So the button's not going anywhere, that's for sure. Okay, so one more time. And you can do 3 times if you'd like. I do that at the end. I just do twice for this one, but for the other one, you'll see me do it 3 times. Complete preference. Okay, now this is what I do. I bring my floss over and then kind of just figure, and what I'm going to do here is show you longer stitches than I would normally do because I want them to show up in the video. You can do them as short and as tight as you'd like. Just make sure that when you do this, you leave enough room for your treat or your gift card holder to slip in and out. Okay, so through the magic of video, here I am finishing it. And I'm just going to add the last button. Okay, and just put it in. And again, like I mentioned in the beginning, I'm going to go ahead and do this one 3 times just because it's the finishing and I just want to make sure it's on there pretty tight. But like I said, so my stitches are really long and pretty set apart. Again, you can do them as close and as long as you'd like. Again, total preference. Okay, one more time. And I don't know about you, but I don't like knots showing that much. So what I went ahead and did here was just kind of going to slip it, but not through the top part of it, just through the inside. And this is where I'm going to knot it off. As you're seeing me do here. And I'm going to do this a couple of times again because we are creating a pocket. So that means things are going to be coming in and out, and you don't want things, you don't want it to rip easily, and especially since you're going to be hanging it on a tree. You just never know. You know, people come by and touch it, and just want to make sure you're very, very careful with it, and you have a hold tight. You have the button on there tight as well as the pocket. Okay, so with that, let me go ahead and cut it off. And then that's it. We've created your little pocket, as you can see here. So that's set to go. Next item is your ribbon. The easiest way I found to do this is to kind of bend it towards each other, bend the sides towards each other like you're seeing me do here, and then I'm going to slip it through that hole. And as I'm slipping, I'm just going to squeeze the edges together. And at one point, you'll kind of feel like it's not going through, and you'll feel it as you do this. And at that point is where I grab my needle. But so far so good, and I'm kind of feeling like it's not going anywhere. So this is where I grab my needle, and I'm just kind of helping the ribbon through. So you see me do there. Okay, and now you're going to bring the edges together. Now a couple of choices here. If you make your ribbon longer, you can make a bow or a knot. I just thought since it's going to be hung from the tree, it'd be nice just to be able to loosen it or tighten it, so I left enough space there, and then just put my brad through it to secure those two sides together. So if you decide later on you want a little bit more, you can kind of take your brad out and bring the sides closer together towards the top. I'm just going to go ahead and trim it because I like this. I think this will hang just nicely. Another option is you can hang these from a gift. That's something else you can do, or leave it in someone's door if you'd like. Totally up to you. Anyway, so let me go ahead and grab the sentiment. It says Happy Holidays, and it's from Gina K. I did some faux stitching all the way around. Added double-sided tape, putting it in the front here. Okay. And now the tag, and just cut it out with oval. Did some faux stitching around that too. And I'm just going to tie it around that piece of ribbon that we put through the spool earlier. And the way I do this so that it hangs is I make the knot a little bit higher, so it's not so snug and so close to that piece of ribbon. And then I'm going to just make a quick little bow. Double knot it actually before you make your bow. So you're seeing me do here. That way it's not going anywhere. It's sticking right there. Okay, and just create a little bow. Okie dokes, and then just fix your little loops there and trim out the edges so that basically the little legs are even. And now I'd like to have that little bow just sit right on the tag. So the easiest way I found to do this is grab a glue dot and put it right where you want that bow to sit. So I like it right almost over that hole to kind of hide it, and I don't know, just it makes it look a little nicer. Okay, and then just secure it, making sure you don't cover the to or the from. Okay, and with that you're done with that section. And now all we got to do is fill it with our little treats. I went ahead and put glue dot there, and then just slip my chocolates in there. Okay, so that's pretty much what it looks like with treats. Let me zoom out so I can bring over the one with the gift card. So besides putting them on the tree and having friends and family look for their names and checking out what treat you got for them, perhaps maybe put them on the dinner table as a table settings. So anyways, hope you have fun making them, and thanks so much for joining me today.